Have you ever wondered why one man can stay in a relationship for years, tell you he loves you, spend time with you, and yet never take the next step? Meanwhile, another man meets a woman, and within a surprisingly short time, he knows he wants to build a future with her. What makes the difference? Many people believe that men marry simply because they are in love. But love alone rarely explains why someone chooses lifelong commitment. Attraction may start a relationship. Chemistry may keep it exciting. But marriage is built on something much deeper. In today's video, we're going to explore 5 qualities that many men value when deciding who they want to spend the rest of their lives with. These are not rigid rules that apply to every person, but they are recurring patterns seen in healthy, lasting relationships. If you're looking for a relationship built on trust, commitment, and genuine connection, then stay with me until the end, because each point builds on the one before it. And before we continue, if you're enjoying thoughtful relationship content that goes beyond surface level dating advice, please take a second to subscribe to the Love and Relationship Lab. Every subscription helps us continue creating videos that inspire stronger, healthier relationships. Thank you for being part of this growing community. Let's begin with the first quality. 1. Emotional safety. Perhaps the greatest gift you can offer another human being is emotional safety. Many people assume men don't need emotional support. Society often teaches boys to hide their feelings, remain strong, and solve every problem alone. As a result, many men spend years wearing emotional armor, convinced that vulnerability is dangerous. But underneath that armor is still a human being. He has fears. He has disappointments. He questions himself. He worries about failing the people he loves. The woman many men imagine building a life with isn't necessarily the one who impresses everyone else. It's often the one who gives him permission to remove that armor. She becomes the one place where he doesn't have to perform. He doesn't have to pretend everything is fine. He doesn't have to appear perfect. He can admit when work is overwhelming. He can confess that he's afraid. He can acknowledge mistakes without fearing that those mistakes will be used against him later. Emotional safety doesn't mean agreeing with everything he says. It doesn't mean accepting unhealthy behavior. Instead, it means creating a relationship where honesty is safer than pretending. Imagine 2 different relationships. In one, every mistake turns into criticism. Every weakness becomes ammunition during future arguments. Every confession is remembered whenever conflict appears. In the other, mistakes are discussed with compassion. Problems become opportunities to grow together. Difficult conversations strengthen the relationship instead of destroying it. Which relationship do you think most people would want to stay in? Emotional safety creates trust. Trust creates intimacy, and intimacy creates commitment. Many men may never say these words aloud, but deep inside, they long for someone who feels like home. A person they can return to after the world's battles without fearing another one. Waiting inside the house. When a man experiences that kind of peace he begins to imagine forever. Not because life becomes perfect, but because he no longer feels like he has to face life alone. Now, let's move to the second quality. 2. Respect. Respect is often misunderstood. Some confuse respect with obedience. Others mistake it for control. Healthy respect is neither. True respect means recognizing another person's dignity, appreciating their efforts, and valuing their perspective, even when you disagree. Every healthy relationship requires mutual respect. A man wants to know that the woman beside him believes in him, especially during seasons when life becomes difficult. He wants someone who notices his effort, not only his success. Someone who appreciates his sacrifices, even if they aren't always visible. Someone who doesn't constantly compare him with another man who seems richer, more successful, or more confident. Comparison slowly destroys appreciation. Respect builds it. One of the fastest ways to weaken a relationship is through public humiliation, correcting, mocking, or belittling your partner in front of others creates wounds that often remain long after the conversation ends. Healthy couples protect each other's dignity. If correction is needed, they do it privately. If encouragement is needed, they offer it generously. Respect also means listening. Instead of assuming the worst, you become curious. Instead of trying to win every argument, you try to understand. Respect says, your voice matters. And when both people feel heard, disagreements become opportunities for growth instead of battles for dominance. A man who feels respected doesn't usually feel the need to prove himself every day. He feels accepted. He feels appreciated. He feels like his partner is truly on his side. That kind of relationship becomes incredibly difficult to walk away from, because every human being wants to be valued, not just for what they achieve, but for who they are. The next quality is something many people underestimate. It's peace. Not excitement. Not endless passion. Not constant butterflies. Peace. Because after the honeymoon phase fades, after the vacations, the celebrations, and the picture-perfect moments, everyday life begins. And everyday life is where lasting love is either built or broken. A wise saying reminds us, a peaceful home is worth more than a luxurious house. For many men, that couldn't be more true. 3. Peace of mind. When people first fall in love, emotions run high. Every text message is exciting. Every date feels magical. Every conversation seems effortless. But eventually, real life arrives. Bills need to be paid. Children may enter the picture. Careers become demanding. Parents grow older. Unexpected challenges appear. At that point, a man isn't asking himself, who gives me the biggest thrill? He's asking, who gives me strength to face life? Many men are drawn to the woman whose presence lowers their stress rather than increases it. That doesn't mean she never disagrees with him. It doesn't mean she stays silent or avoids difficult conversations. Healthy relationships require honest discussions. But there's a huge difference between solving problems together and creating unnecessary conflict. Some couples turn every misunderstanding into a battle. Every disagreement becomes a competition. Every conversation becomes an opportunity to prove who's right. Over time, emotional exhaustion replaces emotional connection. Eventually, one or both partners stop looking forward to coming home. Now imagine a different relationship. After a difficult day at work, he walks through the door. She greets him warmly. Instead of immediately criticizing or complaining, she asks how he's doing. She listens. She understands that timing matters. Later, when they discuss problems, they work as teammates rather than opponents. Notice something important. Peace doesn't mean the absence of problems. Peace means knowing that no matter what problems arise, you're facing them together. A peaceful relationship creates emotional security. It becomes the place where both partners recharge before facing the world again. And that peace isn't only something women give to men. Healthy men should also create peace for the women they love. They should be emotionally steady, trustworthy, kind, and patient. Real peace flows in both directions. Because marriage isn't about one person carrying the emotional weight of the relationship. It's about both people becoming a place of safety for each other. The happiest couples aren't those who never argue. They're the ones who know how to disagree without destroying one another. They know that winning an argument is meaningless if you lose your partner's heart. And that's why peace becomes so valuable. Because peace allows love to breathe. Now, let's move to the fourth quality. But before we continue, please do me a favor. Subscribe to the Love and Relationship Lab and share it with someone who believes healthy relationships are worth building. Let's continue. 4. Loyalty. Few words carry as much weight in a relationship as loyalty. Many people immediately think loyalty simply means remaining faithful physically. Of course, that's important, but true loyalty reaches much deeper. It's an attitude. It's a decision. It's choosing your partner even when they're not standing beside you. Real loyalty shows itself in ordinary moments. When friends criticize your partner, when coworkers gossip, when family members question your relationship. Loyalty means protecting your relationship instead of feeding negativity. It means refusing to embarrass your partner for laughs. It means speaking about them with respect, even when they're absent. There's an old saying, character is revealed by what you do when nobody is watching. The same is true of loyalty. Anyone can appear devoted while their partner is present. Real loyalty is revealed when they're not. A loyal woman doesn't constantly compare the man she's with to someone else. She isn't always reminding him how another man earns more money, has a better body, or drives a nicer car. Comparison quietly destroys gratitude. Instead, loyalty focuses on building together rather than looking elsewhere. Likewise, a loyal man doesn't constantly compare his partner to other women. He doesn't make her compete for his attention. He chooses her every single day. That's what commitment looks like. Loyalty also means believing the best about each other until facts prove otherwise. Too many relationships are damaged by suspicion, assumptions, and endless accusations. Trust becomes impossible when every delayed text message becomes evidence of betrayal. Healthy couples ask questions before making accusations. They seek understanding before passing judgment. That doesn't mean ignoring real warning signs. Trust should always be balanced with wisdom, but constant suspicion can destroy even faithful relationships. Loyalty is also revealed during difficult seasons. It's easy to stand beside someone while life is going well. But what happens when they lose their job? When they become discouraged? When they struggle emotionally? When success disappears for a while? Those moments reveal whether someone loves the person or simply the lifestyle. Many people celebrate success. Loyal people stay during the struggle. That's why loyalty is priceless. It tells your partner, I'm not here only for the easy days. I'm here because I chose you. When someone truly believes that, their heart begins to feel safe, and safety deepens commitment. Before we continue to our final point in Part 3, take a moment to reflect. Have you been creating peace in your relationship? Have you been showing loyalty? Not only through your actions, but also through your words and attitudes? Strong relationships aren't built by finding perfect people. They're built by imperfect people who choose to practice these qualities every single day. Now, let's look at the fifth and final quality. And in many ways, it brings all the others together. Because no matter how strong the attraction is, no matter how exciting the romance feels, a lasting marriage isn't simply about finding someone to love. It's about finding someone to build with. 5. Partnership. Think about the strongest marriages you've ever seen. Chances are they weren't built by two perfect people. They were built by two people who learned to pull in the same direction. That's what partnership is. It's not about keeping score. It's not about asking, what am I getting out of this? Instead, it's asking, how can we build something greater together? A healthy partner doesn't see the relationship as a competition. They see it as a team. When one succeeds, both celebrate. When one struggles, both carry the burden. When one falls, the other reaches out a hand instead of walking away. Many relationships fail because two people have completely different visions for the future. One wants stability. The other wants constant adventure. One dreams about building a family. The other avoids commitment. One is planning for tomorrow. The other is only thinking about today. Love is important, but shared direction is just as important. It's difficult to build a future together if you're walking toward different destinations. A true partner doesn't simply admire your dreams. They encourage them. They ask questions. They celebrate your progress. They remind you of your potential when you've forgotten it yourself. That doesn't mean they agree with every decision. Sometimes, real partnership means speaking difficult truths with kindness. Sometimes, it means challenging each other to grow. Growth rarely happens inside our comfort zones. The best partners don't make us smaller. They inspire us to become better. A woman who believes in a man's character, encourages his purpose, and supports his growth can become one of the greatest influences in his life. Likewise, a man who believes in his partner's dreams respects her gifts, and encourages. Her growth gives her the confidence to become everything she was created to be. That's real partnership. Not one person leading while the other disappears. Not one person's dreams replacing the other's, but two people walking side by side, building a shared future while helping each other become their best selves. And here's something important. Partnership isn't measured during easy seasons. It's measured during difficult ones. When finances become tight, when plans fall apart, when health challenges appear, when disappointment enters the home, those moments reveal whether two people are merely dating or truly building a life together. Because commitment isn't proven by wedding vows alone. It's proven by everyday choices. The choice to forgive, the choice to communicate, the choice to stay respectful during disagreement, the choice to continue believing in one another, the choice to keep building. Now let's bring everything together. We've talked about 5 qualities: emotional safety, respect, peace of mind, loyalty, partnership. Notice something interesting. None of these qualities depend on physical appearance. None depend on expensive gifts. None depend on social media popularity. They are qualities of character. And character is what sustains love long after excitement fades. Of course, every person is different. Not every man or woman will value these qualities in exactly the same way. There is no single formula that guarantees marriage or lifelong commitment. Relationships are deeply personal, and every couple writes their own story.